All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, trying to be harmless, but getting into trouble as usual. And every time I get in trouble, I'm just deleting stuff. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to either delete videos, delete myself, delete comments. It'll be great. Just delete yourself. Just, what do they say? Delete your channel, man. Delete your account. If you have an X account, just delete it. Delete your Facebook. All right. So I will be deleting in real time for a few real people that also want to delete, just like you and just like me. So Eric Clapton, a guy the media tried to delete because, Eric didn't share their views on the so-called science a few years ago. I'm sorry, I have to keep mentioning this because I have read no apology. I have seen no apology. I have seen no mea culpa. I have seen nobody put out an article from the mainstream saying, gee, we were stupid. Gee, we were wrong. Gee, Eric Clapton was right. Van Morrison was right. Travis Tritt was right. There are a handful of people out there that decided to go against the lemmings who are going over the cliff at the same time. But hey, some people love lockdowns, right? Some people love QR codes. Why not even just put a barcode on your head? That'll be easy, right? Just take the mark of the beast. Anyway, Eric Clapton has announced a limited run of tour dates here in 2025 in September, starting on the 8th in Nashville and concluding in one of my favorite places, Uncasville, Connecticut, which I believe is Mohegan's son. He'll also be stopping close to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, also in Philly, Boston, and New York. So if you're up in the Northeast, tickets will go on sale on Friday to the general public, right? Not just the band, but everybody. Sorry about that. You could see a full list of dates at Eric Clapton's website. They do mention here that Eric came out with this great album called Meanwhile back in October. I actually have a copy of it. Contributions from Jeff Beck, the late, great Jeff Beck, and Van Morrison, who was another rebel. Can you believe Van Morrison was a rebel? The guy who sang Brown Eyed Girl became a rebel. But guys in death metal bands were hiding in caves, during that whole time period, whereas Van Morrison was like, hey, I want to go out and work. Why won't you let me work? Why do my fans have to have a QR code on their forehead? Why? So anyway, I'm not going to let it go. If the mainstream, if they want to apologize, and people wonder, how come Eric Clapton did an interview with you? He did more than one. I think he did 3 or 4 interviews with me, but why? Because everybody else was going after him for not going along with their super safe and effective thing that they were doing. Yeah. So that's the reason. And the fact that I'm entertaining on top of it, and you never know what I'm going to say. And I might just lose my mind right here as I'm recording this. That's why people keep tuning in to see if I'm going to melt down. My channel with 82,000 subscribers was frozen, basically on a technicality. So I'm here. So, I'm here all week. There's Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, YouTube memberships, and PJ Rock Super Chats. Because PJ bought me a coffee on top of it. The guy is all right. The kids are all right. You know what I'm saying here? The kids are all right. Oh, if we were kids, we're not kids anymore. And Eric Clapton, by the way, will turn 80 years old this month. And you know what? He is one of those guys who still has gas in the tank. And I'm not saying that just because he and I are pals, right? I don't know if I'm his pal. He's going to come back and say, I never said you were my pal. But anyway, he's 80 and he could still play. And he sings really well. This is the thing people don't talk about. Eric Clapton's vocal ability kind of right where it was in 1997. I hear it that way. My friend over at Modern Retro Radio, Audie, I think he thinks the same thing. He's like, yeah, it's a vintage 90s sounding Eric Clapton vocals and guitar work par excellence, whatever that means. So I think it means really good. Anyway, folks, Eric Clapton tickets go on sale Friday. People will ask me, am I going to any of these shows? I don't know. I don't know. I have gone to see stuff in Boston and in Uncasville. So it'd be kind of really like a cool homecoming to go back to the old stomping grounds to see Eric performing. But I don't know. We'll see how this all shakes out. For now, I'm just happy that Eric is still out there and he's still a legend. And maybe his guitarist ranking will start going back up again where it belongs. Remember, they were saying, well, maybe Joni Mitchell is better. Yeah, she's probably better than Eric. I mean, she's more innovative, right? Really? Joni Mitchell? Okay, she's good, but I think Eric might be better. That's just, the funny thing about Eric Clapton is he hates these superlative lists. He's told me, he's like, I hate these rankings. I mean, it's all, subjective? It's very subjective. You may like a style more than a critic does, or the critic seems to want to bring things in that people aren't thinking about to say, hey, you're going to the right, we're going to the left. And I chose those words because that typically is what happens. And you may not have thought of our really avant-garde, cutting-edge choice, and we're going to put it out there, and you're going to feel embarrassed that you didn't think about this particular artist. No, I just want to listen to something that I think is good, and then I'll decide if it's good. But a lot of people, they want to make you feel small by picking something that you would have never picked. So whatever, and the writing along with it. You have to bring a thesaurus or a translator or something to read half of these articles. Just tell me what you think. Give me this simple take on it so I can then decide whether I even want to listen to what you're telling me to listen to. All right, so I've rambled too much. It's Rambling with Harmless D here on YouTube. Don't forget, folks, I need subscribers. I need patrons. I need YouTube members. I need coffee buyers and PJ Rock super chats. If you decide you want to do that to help the channel, that is fantastic. Thanks again to PJ, who actually bought me a coffee today. So there you go. I have one supporter. He's doing a great job, and he's keeping me going here. God bless everyone. And, of course, including Eric Clapton, who is going to be 80 years old this month and still bringing it, man. This is just a cool thing, living in the year 2025 and having Eric Clapton back out on the road.